Put your hand down. You smiling?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Why are you smiling?
Because I love football. Football's fun.
Fun, sir.
Fun, sir.
It's fun.
Yes.
You sure?
I think
Now
so.
you thinking. First you smile, then you think. You think football is still fun?
Yes.
Sir.
Yes. No.
No?
Sir. Well, it was fun.
Not anymore, though, is it? Is it?
No, not by
No, it's not fun anymore.
No.
Not even a little bit.
No.
Make up your mind.
No.
Think. Since you're thinking, now go on. Think.
No,
Is
no.
it fun?
No, sir.
No.
No, sir.
Absolutely not?
Zero fun, sir.
Oh.
Hey everybody, it's me, Bryson Booker, and I am not a big fan of sports. I was just never a big fan of sports. I never really played any sports growing up. I never watched sports. I'm just unsporty. You know, I didn't even like Sporty Spice. You know, the girl from the Spice Girls, Sporty Spice. Never really liked her either. But that's not the point, whether it involves the Spice Girls or not. Today, we're talking about a sports movie, and that's called Remember the Titans. Remember the Titans was released by Disney and directed by Jerry Bruckheimer. Jerry Bruckheimer did many things for Disney, you know, and this was just one of the projects that he did. But that name should sound very, very familiar to many of you movie watchers or just, you know, lovers of Disney in general. Jerry Bruckheimer did a lot of action films, a lot of films that made you think and reevaluate why you come to the movies. And this film is one of them because it's a very inspiring film based on a true story about a football team known as the Titans. And so basically I'm going to give you a summary of the film, aka with my IMDb movie page that basically says the summary in a sentence. It's an awesome thing. And then I'll just tell you my personal opinions about what I felt about when I watched the movie. So, here we go. This is the story, or true story, of a newly appointed African-American coach and the high school team in its first season, being obviously racially divided. But despite those differences, the Titans have to come together and realize that they're going to win whatever they put their mind to. And so that's basically the summary of the film, and by golly, does this film do a great job in doing that. This film, you know, is just a reminder that despite the differences that we may have as a people and as different races of a people, we can still come together and unify ourselves to make things happen. That's what the Titans do. That's what this movie promotes, and that's what you'll be feeling that should be done even still today in this society, in this day and age. You know, we can still come together, we can still unify ourselves in order to make a difference because, you know, that's what the Titans did. That's how we remember the Titans. Wow. I can't believe I just did that. But that's basically what this film is promoting. It's a very inspiring film. And it makes some people cry, but throughout the film, I didn't really cry. Because, you know, it has some lighthearted moments. Obviously, you know, with the singing and with the Yo Mama jokes, I think that was definitely the funniest part. But it doesn't take itself too seriously, but you know the message that it's trying to promote. Unity. No matter how different you are, what background you come from, you know, or even if you're a black coach or a Caucasian coach, doesn't matter. We can still come together. We can still make our dreams come true. And again, you know, that's the simplest way I can put this movie. It does a great job of doing it. Another highlight of this movie that people generally talk about is the soundtrack. The soundtrack features a lot of early 70s, late 60s rock tracks, soul and R&B tracks, and basically good tracks in general. That was released by Walt Disney Records in the same year, 2000. So definitely, if you love the music in the movie, go get the soundtrack because it will not disappoint you. Now, keep in mind, not every song from the soundtrack appears, or every song from the movie, appears in the soundtrack, but a good chunk of them do. including There Ain't No Mountain High Enough, Ain't No Valley Low Enough. Literally, that was the song used to advertise this movie. And that's the song from the 60s that drives me nuts. It's just, literally, I hate it. I hate it. But it's in this film. It's on the soundtrack. As well as na 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 hey 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 goodbye. Another one from the 60s that I hate, but it was used to advertise this movie. Definitely makes an appearance more than once in this movie. But just a plug for the soundtrack that I want to throw out there. Really good soundtrack, really good music that definitely represents the time. This is the early 70s. And so, there wasn't any techno, there wasn't any disco even. Disco wasn't even born yet. And thank God disco is dead. Whew. But it wasn't even born yet. We still had some pretty impactful music in the early 70s. And most of those impactful tracks that made a difference in the culture, especially, when talking about different ethnicities and different racial groups, make an appearance in Remember the Titans. And they appear at the right moments, at the right times, when it's appropriate for them to be there. A lot of movies, they just put songs in there just to say, we want this movie to be modern when it's really not. Like, literally, if the movie is set in the 90s, I know this is a cliche, but if the movie is set in the 90s, they'll feature music from 2017 just to say, hey, this movie is from 2017, but the setting is in the 90s, but the 90s music back then sucked. We'll just put new music in there. Doesn't make any sense because it doesn't match the vibe of the movie. And many movies do that. Remember the Titans isn't one of those culprits. Music-wise. Acting-wise, it's that too. The actors persuade, the characters that are real, basically. Now, there was a real team called the Titans, obviously. You can read up on that on your own time. There was a real high school football team named the Titans. Obviously, that's why this movie is based on a true story, like many sports movies. But, the actors, especially Denzel Washington. Denzel Washington definitely was the icing on the cake for me. He was definitely believable as his character. A coach that didn't take any mess, but wanted the best for his team, no matter if they were different from each other or not, or the same. He wanted the best. I definitely felt that vibe coming from him as he was acting, as well as the other actors who were really engaged with each other, really wanted to connect with each other, and just wanted to connect and contribute to the movie as a whole. It was just great all the way through, guys. And again, I know I said this in my VHS update when I got this film a month ago. Don't be fooled. Just because it's a Disney movie, don't be fooled. Now, Disney did use their advertising abilities when this movie came out and just really put the majority of the parts from this movie, the funny parts, in the promo. But even though the funny parts are in the promos, that doesn't mean that this movie is a comedy movie, even though Disney kind of made it one. This movie is a serious, inspiring tale, about the power of unifying ourselves despite our differences. And again, I keep pounding that in your head because that's literally something that you should take away from watching this film. And if I continue to say it, that means that this film actually did a good job promoting it. It did a wonderful job. It's a classic. And it definitely went down in movie history as a classic. Other sports movies have tried to do the same thing. Some have succeeded, some have failed miserably. But I can definitely say that Remember the Titans does an inspiring, true sports film correctly. Jerry Bruckheimer, Denzel Washington, all of the actors, the people who made the soundtrack did a wonderful job and made this movie golden, because it really is golden. And it's definitely something that you should take a look at, and if you haven't already, whether on VHS, Disney DVD, or digital download. I hate saying that, but check it out for yourself. It's a great movie from Walt Disney, the people that brought you Under the Sea and Somebody's Lamp brought you Remember the Titans. And it's a pretty good movie. Check it out.